My name is Rafael, you're watching Rockin Garage, and today I'm going to show you the 5 favorite songs of the legendary Uriah Heep co-founder and guitarist Mick Box. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. Well, back in 2020, I had the chance to interview Mick Box. At the time, I was not doing videos, so this was a written interview, and I asked him which were his 5 favorite songs of all time. But one thing that Mick told me was that he was a Gemini, so he couldn't tell me which were his 5 favorite songs of all time. He could only tell me which were his 5 favorite songs that day of all time, that day, because he said that his opinion changes every day. So these are some of Mick Box's 5 favorite songs of all time. Maybe his list today is different, but let's go with it. The first one that he mentioned is Neil Young's Rockin' in the Free World, a classic song from the later career of Neil Young, right? This was probably his last biggest hit, and a really heavy song, a really different song from his career, and this is what Mick said about that track. Very apt for the world that we are living in at the moment, but a very powerful song with a powerful message performed with passion. So Mick likes Neil Young, and especially this track, which is, what a great guitar riff it has. At least, just the guitar riff is amazing. The whole song is fantastic. The second one that he mentioned, it's another classic with a very powerful riff as well. Free, All Right Now. Fantastic song. Paul Rodgers, Paul Kossoff, and many other incredible musicians that Simon Kirke, that Free had. And this is what he said about the track. It has an amazing feel to it, raw energy, and Paul Rodgers is one of my all-time favorite rock vocalists. Paul Kossoff, the guitarist, is in the pocket, and he has a wonderful left-hand vibrato. Andy Fraser on bass plays melodic bass lines, and he just kills it. And Simon Kirke on drums is metronomic. Total chemistry at work. What an amazing band Free was, right? Sadly, Paul passed away too soon, and the band ended up splitting. But Bad Company was born later on with the other half of the band, with Simon Kirke and Paul Rodgers. The third one that Mick Box mentioned is Jeff Beck's "'Cause We've Ended as Lovers." And this is what he said. Beautiful guitar work that cuts right through your heart. And so, superb instrumental melody. And if you have seen on the other video we did about this interview with Mick Box, where he answered which were his 5 favorite bands of all time, he already praised Jeff Beck as one of his all-time favorite guitarists of all time. So Jeff was a big influence to especially Mick Box, and obviously Uriah Heep's sound. The fourth song that he mentioned is another classic, a song that is also Paul McCartney's favorite. Paul McCartney praised this track many times, and it is the Beach Boys' God Only Knows, from the incredible album Pet Sounds. This is what Mick Box said. A beautiful constructed song with a wonderful lyric and typical Beach Boy harmonies. It has the full production treatment on their Pet Sounds album, but I have heard Brian Wilson play this just on the piano along with his vocal, and to me it was just as moving and probably more powerful stripped down like that. The positive proof that it is a killer song. That's what Mick said about this great, big classic by the Beach Boys. And the final song that he mentioned, it's quite interesting. You probably wouldn't imagine he would be mentioning this song, but it is Don't Dream Is Over by Crowded House. That's right. And he's a big fan of the band. He praised the band, and this is what he said. Another beautifully crafted song with a great feel. Neil Finn is one of my favorite of all-time songwriters. I love the Hammond organ part that comes in, as it gives the track so much warmth. So this is what Mick said about Don't Dream Is Over by Crowded House. And for example, Neil Finn, besides being the frontman of the band, he also replaced Lindsey Buckingham during the last years of Fleetwood Mac on tour. He was part of the band until the band came to an end nearly a little bit before the pandemic. And this is it. I think that, I don't know about you, but Uriah Heep is one of my favorite bands of all time. I think they're quite underrated. They're really big in Europe, for example, but not as big, not very big in the United States or Canada, these places. But I'm really a big fan of it. And if you don't know the band, you should definitely check them out. You know, the first albums, the 80s albums, and their more recent albums, they're all amazing. So go check them out. They're fantastic. Mick Box is one of the most underrated guitar players of all time, in my opinion. And this is it. If you want to read more and read more interviews with Mick Box, you go to the description, visit the article we wrote about it, and visit rockandrollgarage.com. Don't forget to like the video, leave your comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I see you later.